Welcome back to another episode of Claim Your Creative Voice. I'm Lindsey Kirkendall, and this is my good friend,
Leslie Garbis.
We are so excited to have you with us. I hope you pull up a chair if I don't know if you're watching this in the morning, afternoon, or evening, but pour yourself a cup of something yummy.
A beverage, if you will.
Be it wine or coffee or tea or water. And we want to talk to you a little bit about intention. This has been something that we've been talking about, for like over a month.
Yeah.
And chewing on this.
We've had the intention to do
talk
this
about
episode
intention.
About intention. See what I did there?
But we've been chewing on it and looking at it from a lot of different angles, and we both have a significant intention that we bring to the way we work with our individual clients. But we wanted to start out talking about just intention in general and what it means, and hopefully give you guys maybe some new perspectives around what this term can mean, how you might be able to personalize it or integrate it into your own daily life. And we started by talking about the morning ritual.
The morning ritual. Another term that I like is called sacred start to the day.
Oh, I like that.
I did not coin that. I think Sarah Jenks did, I believe.
Okay.
I believe that's where I got it from. But yes, that's another way to just bring in that idea that it's different than maybe what we would think it is, which Lindsey wanted to talk a little bit about this, about how it might be off-putting for some people as they think about, it's one more thing I have to do, and then we got into morning routine.
Yeah.
Feels a lot different than morning ritual or sacred start.
Yeah, so for me, when I was talking with Leslie about this, and she was saying, I want to really talk about morning ritual, and I finally, at this point in my life, have one that I've stuck to, which is amazing, because I am not a routine-oriented person. I do like some structure, but routine feels really limiting to me. It feels makes me feel trapped, and it also brings up a lot of shame because I'm not naturally oriented around having very consistent routines. When I can't meet my routines, or when I can't do the routines that I'm trying to make myself do, I feel a lot of shame. Like something's wrong with me.
It's a failure of some sort.
Yeah, and we've all been brought up, unless you were radically unschooled by your parents, the vast majority of us were brought up with a very consistent 9 to 5 routine in school and then in the workplace, and it was 5 days a week, weekends off. We have this, and a lot of us artists really bucked against that structure. I remember even in junior high, putting on my Bonnie Bell silver eyeliner, and in my mirrored closet door, on the floor, and having a little bit of anxiety. Is probably the first time I'm not a highly anxious person, but it's the first time I can think back to experiencing anxiety in a way that I had awareness around, because I thought, oh God, is this what I'm going to do for the rest of my life? And I was probably a 7th grader, and it was because just the routine of it was
stifling
so heavy and stifling. Yeah. So, of course, becoming an entrepreneur and doing a lot of the things that I've done as an artist and a creative person, I'm really big into the personal development and self-development world, and so much of that is so masculine, and 4-hour work week, and wake up at 4 a.m. and what were you saying?
Wake up at 4 a.m. and journal. Journal for 30.
Pilates.
Do 30 minutes of Pilates. Make you superfood smoothie.
Yeah. And then make keto waffles for my kids.
Yeah. And do some raw food shit for your pet.
Yeah.
Get that
and
get
that's
that
the
out.
way to old life.
Yeah, exactly.
I am owning it.
Yes.
I am living my best life.
Yes.
And it's
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but
that
I
feels
can't
overwhelming.
do that.
Feels same. That feels very overwhelming. I do share this with you for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I've tried to do some big kind of morning routines like that, and I'm never able to keep it up.
Right. Yeah. So if you're like me, I'm hopeful that this little chat will give you a little bit of change in perspective. And if you're already somebody that's a little more like Leslie and has the ritual shit down, then hopefully this will give you some more ideas or inspiration to bring into your morning ritual.
It's what I want to go into is just how simple, and I guess we're mainly speaking as a reminder to those of you who already might have a grasp of this, and particularly speaking to people who really have been putting that off, and or maybe aren't even aware of what a radical change, starting your day with intention, how quick and simple it can be, but what radical gains that you can have in your life from such a simple thing.
Right.
And I'll go ahead and nutshell it for you. We're talking 5 to 15 minutes, okay? I'm just going to say that. I'll get to more in a moment. But yeah, don't freak out. It's easy. But here's the thing. I've said this before. I think I even just mentioned it in our grounding. We just did an episode on grounding. When we wake up and we let the day take us, meaning we give no consideration to something as simple as, I'm awake.
Right.
Here's my breath. I'm so grateful to be here. You know, just like looking around.
Making a song.
I feel my feet on the floor. Here I am. Hey, body, how's it going? You know, and then just start to invite in presence and start to think about what we want our day to be like. What do we want to call in for our day?
Yeah.
Simple things like this versus waking up, where's the coffee? Oh shit, I gotta take the kids to the dentist today, and then I gotta run across town for this meeting, and then I got, whatever.
Yeah.
You might wake up to just this, right? Which means you're not present, your day's already gone, and your day's gonna take you.
Yeah.
It's going to take you.
Yeah.
You're not going to have sort of the place of being in the creator mode,
Right.
of creating your day. With intention, your day is going to take you like a big wave. It's just going to take you. And then at the end of the day, you're going to be like, WTF? Like, what?
Where
Like, did I get anything done?
Yeah.
Like, wait, was I even there? Was I even in my body? Like,
Was I even there?
Yeah, and more than likely, you will be pissy, and you'll be, just like you grabbed for that coffee in the morning, you'll be grabbing for that bottle of wine, know? And no judgment on either of those beverages, because I enjoy them.
Yeah.
But that feeling of, that feeling. So that feeling is something that...
Well, and it's also different, like, if you are grabbing for the wine with intention.
Yes.
Or if you're grabbing for it because you didn't set an intention in the morning.
Yes, and so you're trying to just stuff it down.
Right.
The feeling of not being present and
Yeah.
not being in your life and in your body.
Right.
So what I'd like to talk about is how easy it can be to shift that. Okay, as simple as I already mentioned, taking a couple deep breaths before you get out of bed, sending some gratitude to the universe, and then whatever your morning routine looks like, it needs to work for you. Some people literally cannot make it work in the morning. Fine. Find a time in the afternoon then, or even before you go to bed. That is absolutely better than nothing. But I love the idea of sometime early-ish in the day, because you start to wrap your head around grounding, get into your breath, grab your coffee, grab your mine looks like this. I get up, I go about every other day with this. Sometimes I go straight and do literally a 5-minute Pilates kind of stretch, 5 or 10 minutes, to feel more in my body and feel loose and just better. And then I'll grab my tea or my coffee, and I'll sit down and I'll burn Palo Santo or my little dried pieces of my Christmas tree. Her name was Minnie. Or just some sort of incense that clears the energy, clears the air. I ask myself to be cleared of anything clinging to me that is not for my highest purpose, for whatever I am hoping to accomplish and contribute to myself and to those around me during that day. And then there's the simple, and I'll do my daily affirmation reading. That takes very little time, and almost every time it speaks to me exactly where I am. It's so cool. Yeah. And then I'll draw a card, which we didn't bring any cards today. I can't believe we forgot that. Anyway, I'll draw an oracle card, and it almost always, 99.9% of the time, speaks to what I'm needing to hear. Mm-hmm. So that starts to shape some intention right there. Yeah. And then I oftentimes will do my 3 words of the day. Yeah. And they'll just drop in. They'll just pop in.
Oh, yeah.
Centered, joyful, let me see, what's another one? Organized or motivated. Those have been ones I've been playing with this week. So that's literally a simple morning ritual right there. Yeah. Right there. And what's cool about the 3 words, and I know you'll have some stuff to say about the 3 words. Yeah. What's cool about the 3 words, I like to write them down. You can write them down on your phone, or I'm a dinosaur, so I have a paper calendar. And then I like to revisit them if I think of it. But here's what's cool. I told my students to do this. Set alarms on your phone. For every, say 2 or 3 times during the day, every 3 hours or something. And when that alarm goes off, ding, revisit the intention. How am I doing? How am I doing with those 3 words?
I love that.
And that's a way to remind
brilliant.
yourself how to keep going back to that touchstone. And what's cool about when that alarm goes off is you can go, wow, I really did in that conversation with that person who I usually have a difficult time with. I really carried my intention into that conversation. Yes. And so it can give you like a feeling of, where you can connect the dots, like, wow, this shit's really working. You know, that kind of vibe. Or it can be a reminder.
I need to add that into my little...
Yeah, I just taught this to my students, and I'm about to touch base with them tomorrow to see how they're doing.
It's kind of like, it just gives you that reaffirmation.
Yes, and also a reminder, because we're human. We might get thrown way off track. It could be that we weren't as grounded as we maybe wanted to be when we set the intention.
Yeah.
So the intention wasn't as soulful. It might have been a little more up here. And so it might be that it wasn't as deep, and we maybe need to reset those words, or it could be that we've just gone off path a little bit. And oh man, I have not recalibrate. I have not been putting that into practice. Okay, hold on. Deep breath. All right, thank you for that reminder. Go about your day.
Yeah.
I think that's all I want to say at this moment
I
about
love that.
simple daily. Oh, I do want to say one more thing. The way we live our days, this is from Kate Northrup in her book Do Less, highly recommended. In the way we live our days is the way we live our lives. Holy shit.
Wow.
So how can that not be true? So we're talking about, so what we're talking about.
That hit really close to home now.
Exactly. So what we're talking about right now is a micro. It's a micro version that then you string those days together, and that's a life, people. Yeah. So then those micros add to the macro. So just with this simple intention setting, you literally can shift your life. You can absolutely shift your day. But again, the way we live our days is the way we live our lives.
Wow, that's really good.
Why am I karate chopping? I have no idea.
I'm here for it. Chop away.
Okay.
So I'll share a little bit about what I did, and the reason why I want to share this is because for me, like I mentioned earlier, it took me a long time to find something that worked. And I think it's really important for those of you that maybe don't have a morning ritual or who have tried doing something every morning and it's just not stuck.
Try something else.
It's like, I would also really encourage you to try things that engage the senses too. Because for me, essential oils are very trendy right now. And they're trendy for good reason, but also people use them a lot for medicinal purposes and things like that. And whenever I've used them, they've really primarily been emotionally beneficial for me. Just smelling something. And I feel like the smell sense is so overlooked. We don't really give as much importance or credence or power to how smelling something can make us feel. And I don't know if it's just because science hasn't studied as much as or it's just not as used as in the way we use our hands or our eyes or I don't know, our ears. But smelling something really does subtly alter your state of being or your state of consciousness. It does.
I mean, there's science behind that.
Totally.
Particularly the citrus oils, they have proven that they surpass the blood-brain barrier.
Right.
And so they...
Frankincense does that as well.
Frankincense does that as well. And so they are absolutely uplifting to mood.
Yeah.
100% citrus oils. Yeah. Just by smelling them.
Just by smelling it.
We're talking lemon, tangerine, orange, or a combination grapefruit. Oh, grapefruit.
So for me, it took me just noticing how much that made me feel and playing with it a little bit. And then, of course, when I found Palo Santo, it was oh, this shit is my jam. Because it smells a lot like cedarwood, which is one of my favorite oils.
Grounding. That's one of my favorites, too.
Yeah, and so... part of me getting into a ritual was because it was something that I legitimately looked forward to. I really enjoy the smell of Palo Santo. I really enjoy the smell of some types of oils. Playing physically with a tactile thing, whether it's holding crystals or shuffling oracle cards or whatever. I'll sometimes watch readings on YouTube at night just because like listening to people shuffle cards is kind of like ASMR for me. There's something soothing about the sound of it. So for me, I'm getting the smell, I'm getting the sound of the shuffling the cards, and I'm getting the tactile piece of working with the cards. And there's something, those of you that are like knitters or people that sew and work with your hands, like that there's something once you start using your hands, it takes you out of your mind.
Yes,
your brain.
This all invites presence.
It all invites presence, which goes back to what we were just talking about. And so it's all of these pieces that after a while, like I realized, oh, this works really well for me because I'm engaging my senses in a different way and I enjoy it. So I look forward to it. So I want to do it. If I don't do it, I feel like, there's sometimes on the weekends where I don't because I just want to do nothing today. I just want to like let the day take me where it goes. But especially for entrepreneurs or people that are, pursuing a career as an artist, which you're also an entrepreneur, it's a really powerful tool. So I do the 3 words as well, but I stole this, shout out to my coach Jamie King, from her. And I don't know if it's her original idea or if she got it from somewhere else, but I sit down and I do 3 words. How do I want to feel today? 3 words. 3 things I'm praying for or setting an intention around. 3 things I'm grateful for.
Feel.
Grateful and grateful.
Okay.
3 things that I need to get done. So that also is super helpful because I would love to read the book, Do Less, but it's so easy, especially for women like us that have high capacity and we can do lots of things. It's a superhero strength, in my opinion, but it can also really swing to the other side of the spectrum.
Very quickly.
The to-do list is 80 years long, and then we feel shame because we're not able to get it done. And the more I can trust in doing less, and I can give myself, if I can do these 3 things today, that is all I am required to do.
Beautiful.
And if I get those done, I'm good. So I do 3 things that I have to get done. They can be business related, they could be momming related, they could be personal, it could be whatever. It's just, I need to get these things done today. And then 3 things that are money generating activities.
Okay.
So it could be like reaching out to a new potential client, or it could be just doing a story on Instagram or what have you. But it also, for those of us that are entrepreneurs and are needing to constantly be generating our own income, it's a way for us to stay on track with that, because if you are not setting the intentions of generating some sort of income today, I hear this a lot in the entrepreneurial world, whatever you're doing now is going to be your income 3 months from now. And so you need to be doing at least some sort of income generating activity every day to make sure that your income is consistent. And so it's a simple 5-step, and I just type it in, and like it drops in, but only after I've done my little smells and my cards. I pull a card, and all of that stuff, and it's
all that good juju.
Something, and I don't always get to it in the morning. I don't do it exactly always when I wake up, because I do have kids, and I wake up, like this morning I woke up and the first thing I had to do was respond to something that my team was asking about, and so I sat in bed for 30 minutes like doing computer work, but it helped me wake up and I got it done, which was great. And then we had this, and so after this I'll go and do my routine, because it's just a part of like staying more connected to being in my day, which is making me holistically feel like I'm living in my life.
That's right.
It's so much more.
And you're calling it in. You're creating your life. You're in the seat of creation.
Right.
You're the queen on your throne of your day. Of your day, of your life. I love all of that. I would like to add that for those of you who feel overwhelmed by the to-do list, even though I think 3 is so reasonable, don't get me wrong, but if just the idea of starting a to-do list and only keeping it to 3 things feels overwhelming,
that was something I had to practice. Right?
Another shout out to Do Less, Kate Northrup, the book that I've mentioned. She recommends doing a to-do list, and then next to that to-do list have the universe's to-do list.
Ooh.
So some of the stuff, something's on my lip is driving me freaking, there it is, fuzz. Fuzzball! She recommends that, there's a lot of things that we carry around as our to-dos, but they're really not ours. We need to hand them over to the universe.
Oh, that's so good.
the universe has a to-do list. Okay, well, honestly, you know how you can just try to death at something? Like, say you're wanting to find the perfect apartment because you're wanting to move out.
Right.
And you can just try. And you're sitting there and you're just like, oh, every day you think you've got to look at that and call it but that can actually be the universe's to-do list, because if you get clear on what you want, you do some of that research. You find out what's available in which area of town you want to be in. You maybe reach out to a few realtors. You maybe put it out to a bunch of friends that you're looking.
Right.
But then sit the F back and release it and just give it to the universe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a decent example
Yeah,
of what
that's
you
a
feel?
great example.
Okay, I feel like
I've been dealing with that the last 9 months of my life, trying to find a place to move. Yeah.
You have.
Yep.
Yeah. And then it's not always, you have to be willing for it not to be in the time frame that we expect it to be in. That's another thing.
Which
and
is
sometimes
hard.
there are legitimate deadlines, so don't get me wrong. But be as flexible as you can. Within the auspices of what your life is, of course, demanding of you, but be flexible if you can for what might show up and how.
Yeah.
And that way you're not in control, but you're still in creation.
Ooh, that's
You're
good.
still called. You still called that in.
Yeah.
When that shows up.
With intention.
Yes. When that shows up, you were clear.
Yep.
You did a little bit of your footwork. Then you let it go to the universe. Or you prayed it up to God, whatever feels good to you, of course, you let it go.
Yeah.
And when it comes in,
you're
like,
yeah,
thank you. And
Yeah.
then you're also like, thank you. Right? So this
and you also know that that's for you, because you're not sitting there going, is this the right move or is it not? Is this the right move or is it not?
Right.
Like, you've set your intention. You said, this is what I'm calling in.
Yes.
And I mean, this could go into a
And
whole
you do some release.
many other conversations.
It could.
But the one thing I also want to add, just briefly, is understand that it's also connected to self-worth.
Right.
Because
what do you think you're deserving of?
Yeah,
Yes.
like what you're setting your intentions for. What
I feel like you're going to go
calling
into that in an episode when you talk about more of intention setting for how you do it in your business.
So good.
Juicy stuff. Juicy
It's
stuff.
all connected to self-worth.
But this is our kind of general little chat about intention setting and how you can invite it in for your day, and what that could look like, and how little time it could take, but what a gift it is to yourself as the creator of your life and of your days, and how that can also really affect how you show up for others. There's a piece we didn't hit on.
True.
Holy cow.
True.
Because when I blow through life happens. I have a kid. I have a crazy kid and a crazy dog, and my husband can be crazy too. I mean, there's just a lot. My house feels like a lot, even though we're a small family.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can end up blowing through my routine some days. Some days it just gets crazy, right?
Yeah.
Those are the days though that I'm kind of an ass. I mean, honestly, I just am not showing up as my best self. I am a grumpy puss, and then I'm just not enjoying my day as much. I'm just like, well, shit.
And what's the point of not enjoying life?
Yeah, but
Like,
sometimes it's so funny. I'll be like, damn, I forgot my morning routine.
Yeah.
This is happening right now instead of
Morning ritual.
Morning ritual. Ooh, yeah, not routine. Not routine.
See?
Morning ritual, sacred
Yes.
start. So I was like, shit, I forgot it. No wonder my day's total crap.
Yeah.
No, I'm hardly teasing at all, actually. Anyway, we're so happy to be here with you. Happy intention setting.
Yes.
Happy morning ritual and or sacred start. And here's to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.